Okie dokie artichoke, what is going on, beautiful people? Happy hump day. I'm Connor, I'm from Pittsburgh. I am glad that you guys are here. Some juicy questions, we got some good questions for you today. This question, this person asked, how do you feel better about yourself and your body? We're gonna talk about body dysmorphia and mental health. I have body dysmorphia and want to change, but my brain can't get out of a slump. Any tips? Yeah, you'll kind of know what that's like, right? Body dysmorphia is thinking that you look worse than you actually do. If you're someone who is working on their fitness, then I'm sure you kind of know what that feels like a little bit, to think you're not progressing as much as you hoped you would from just like looking in the mirror every single morning at yourself. I'm sure it's common that people like even struggle to like look at themselves in the mirror sometimes too. I can just speak on some of the things that have really helped me the most when it comes to transitioning from body dysmorphia more into body acceptance. I was younger and I didn't really know a whole lot about working out. I didn't know anything about nutrition. I didn't know anything about anything when it comes to getting in shape. I felt pretty helpless when it came to changing how I looked and understanding like the right steps to take, that it was going to be possible that I could like look the way that I wanted to look. And knowledge certainly helps. Learning more about weight, body fat, and muscle mass manipulation more or less cured this like body dysmorphia for me. But the more variables that you track, the better too. Daily morning body weight, seeing yourself first thing after you go to the bathroom is typically going to be your lightest body weight day over day. If you were to do that every single morning throughout the week, you'd notice that your body weight is going to fluctuate up and down based on a number of different things. It's going to be based upon food you ate the previous day. It's going to be based on when you stopped eating the previous night. It's going to be based on your water intake from the previous night. What you can do is average your weekly weigh-ins to get a number, and then you can sort of track that number week over week. That's what I like to do to get a little bit more of a bird's eye view picture of it. You could take body measurements once a week if you wanted to, if you're on a cutting phase and you wanted to see your body fat, changing like your waist measurement, your neck measurement, combining those two measurements with your height are going to be good numbers that you can use to calculate your body fat percentage based on something called US Navy method of body fat estimation. That's personally what I use for my progress photos once a week, front, side, and back photo. Get more of an objective picture basically. Also, you could track your sleep, you could track your water intake, you could track your steps per day. Help me just get a more of an objective viewpoint, an objective picture of things, and really just allowed me to understand if I'm in a phase where I want to lose body fat, I know how to do that, and I know that I can do that. I can help other people do that too. Last part of the question, that referring to your mindset and your mental, like being able to get out of a slump, more on like mental health, right? And I'll like wrap this up. I'll have these seasons and phases that are challenging, super trying. You have these super challenging and trying seasons. We're going through these low points. Don't think we can get through them, right? We don't think it's ever going to get better whenever we're like in the midst of this, right? We're sort of running this faulty program in our minds. Don't know how to fix it, right? Malfunctioning thing that's going on in our brains, not working right. There's a book called The Power of Positive Thinking that's super good. It's kind of helped me when I was in like a bad point. I'm in these like lows. If you can kind of like think yourself into this faulty program and this malfunctioning mindset, if you will, you can think yourself out of it too. That's something that really like encouraged me and helped me to get into like a better way of thinking, accepting myself and like loving myself more, is that it's really just about taking the reps. We've had so many, maybe you've been in this season or this phase of your life for a long time, and it's really just been a matter of you've had so many days and so many weeks and so many months, maybe years, that you've been like thinking this way. Maybe it might take the same amount of time that you've been in that state to get out of that state, and it's going to be a hell of a hard time to get out of, but like it's really just reminding yourself about like taking these reps day over day, stacking your wins. You can get 4 days out of 7. That's a win for the week. If you can get 16 days out of 30 for the month, that's a win for the month. And if you can get 7 months out of the year, that's a win for the year. One way that I feel like that I personally will sort of break my momentum, and something that I'm currently trying to work at is keeping promises to myself that I made to myself like when I start my day, right? So if it's something as simple as we are going to literally we're going to go to the gym, we're going to walk on the treadmill for 45 minutes and do our walk in the morning, every single morning before we do anything else. And if I don't do that, that's gonna break my momentum and I'm not gonna have, it's gonna start my day off maybe not so great. It's just stacking these little promises that I keep to myself every single day within the day. Like I said I was gonna do this, I did this, and I want to do this because it's gonna make me feel better about myself and it's gonna help me like progress towards my goals. Also just like having something to look forward to. Maybe you guys are not as weird and crazy as I am and I'm like looking forward to my workouts and listening to my music. Maybe you have a family or maybe you have kids, maybe you have a partner or you're married or something like that, you have a spouse. You're looking forward to seeing them at the end of the day. Have that to like keep you going, right? Oh man, like I can't wait until 5 o'clock because I get to see my girlfriend, I get to see my spouse, I get to see my best friend, I get to see my dog, you know? Maybe you got a trip coming up, maybe you're traveling or something like that, like that's something to look forward to. I will just say this to wrap this up on like mental health. People, if anyone has any kind of social media presence, you understand this, but if you're watching this, you do. But everyone, regardless of how many people follow you, regardless of what your platform looks like, everyone has a platform. Everyone is always watching you, no matter if it's online, if it's social media, in person. Everyone is always watching you. You never know who's going to need your testimony. You never know who's going to need your story of getting to where you're at. You never know who's going to need your mindset and your way of thinking for that day when they're gonna need that. Something that I'm trying to pay more attention to. Okay, how am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. And then thinking, okay, well, how is so-and-so doing? Or how are these people doing? Or how are the people that are like watching my stories doing? Or how are these people that are like watching my lives doing? And I'm thinking, well, maybe there's probably someone out there that, who knows, I hope there isn't, but like maybe there's someone out there that really needs my mindset today and the encouragement and the way that I carry myself throughout my day. If I'm having a day where I'm really not like feeling like coming on and doing this live at 3 p.m. every single Wednesday, then really just like coming on here and saying like, dude, it doesn't matter. What's more important to me is like encouraging someone else that is having a bad day, that maybe tunes into this, sees like this short 2 seconds of me talking about this stuff. I really needed that mindset today, or like I really needed to like hear those words today. I really needed to hear that testimony. People are always watching you, no matter if it's your neighbors, no matter if it's your friends, no matter if it's your family, no matter if it's your children. We all have a story. We're all creating our own stories. Stories are gonna help someone else that really needs to see a part of your story that is, you know, a really good part of your story that came after a really bad part of your story, right? Because maybe someone is in a bad part of their story and they need to see that what comes after a bad part of your story is actually a really good part of your story. That's all I got. Hopefully this helped you guys. Hopefully this made you a little bit better. And yeah, I appreciate everyone that tuned in. I love you guys, and I'll see you this time next week, okay? Peace.